Hello everybody, how's it going? Lord Josh here once again, and unfortunately I'm coming to you here today to perform a working which I did not intend upon doing. To give you a little bit of a backstory on what's going on here, about 3 or 4 weeks ago I did a ritual, and I wanted to gather information from a certain oracle system in my native land. As many of you will know, I live on a mass plague burial site where a lot of the victims of the Black Death were buried here, including the physicians. So what I tend to do is sometimes, about twice a week, I go into the woods near my house, a local woods called Strange Woods. And they're known to be incredibly haunted, lots of paranormal activity in there. And I go in there and what I do is I allow the spirit, or whatever spirit might be there, to possess my body, to hack into my field and possess me so that I can get information from them directly. I'm not the type of person that likes to pray to the entities. I want them to control me and work directly through me. And through that, I allow them to use my body and my hands to write down certain messages on sand or paper. They call it sand writing. Well, I've had quite a few negative experiences in my time of doing this in the last sort of 8 to 10 years. But in the last couple of weeks, I feel that whilst I was very persuasive and I did command this spirit to leave me alone and to leave my body, I feel that it has followed me from the woods to my property, which is exactly why I go to the woods to do these kind of workings. If I did them in the house, they would simply stay in the house. This one seems to have followed me home. Despite the fact that I'm using talismanic totems to protect myself, and despite the fact that I've got my feathered fan, my trusty fan, I still feel the energies are here. It's a bad vibe. It's a dominant male figure. It feels like it has strong authority. And I feel that it's connected to that Renaissance era. And it all fits in to the geography of this area and to the history of it. Because this particular spirit, I feel, has a very cold and cruel kind of mentality. And because of the geography of the area, it's very hilly, it's not even. There's a lot of graves here. And you can accidentally trip over a grave, walk over a grave, and that would be considered even grounds for this spirit to get revenge upon you. So I could have done that by accident, because I wasn't looking around properly. But this is a pretty serious incident. So what I've done here, as you can see, this is not my usual altar. This altar right here is just a temporary piece that I've created solely for the purpose of getting rid of this particular energy. What I've done is I've tried to do as much research as I can. I've consulted my I Ching oracle system. The I Ching has told me directly that this spirit may indeed be a plague doctor, a physician from the Black Death era. And if that's the case, what I need to do is I need to get my plague mask out. I need to find it. It's somewhere in my drawer. I've got to get it. I've got to put it on this altar. I've got to consecrate it. And I've got to command this spirit to finally leave me alone. And as I've said, I am starting to think now that the spirit is actually something more than that. I'm actually thinking it's an age-old demon, because of the power and the intensity of its vibe within this property. It's tremendous. So to give you some perspective, last night I was in bed and I could hear the bath running, the water of the bath, and there was nobody here doing that. I left my room, I tried to open the door to the bathroom, the doorknob fell off and I couldn't get in. All of the water was pouring through the door. The whole room was flooding. I couldn't get in to stop it. Eventually I got through with a screwdriver. I actually got in, I turned the bath off, but the damage had already been done. The walls were wet through. It was all over the floor. It wasn't a pretty sight. So, and after that, the dog in my house was barking. I could hear footsteps on the wooden hallway floor downstairs. And I could hear many different things at night. It sounds like there's something in my attic, but there's nothing there. But it feels and it sounds through the vibrations through the walls. I can feel like there's someone walking around up there, and I can hear them too. I can hear breathing. So there's definitely something going on. It's not just my imagination, because I've been through this so many times, dozens of times in my life. But I can't say I've actually dealt with it this severe. The severity of this situation outweighs any other. It's tremendous, actually. So I'm actually getting quite concerned, which is why I impromptu built this particular altar, and hopefully, depending upon how I feel, how strong I feel today, which I do. I feel pretty strong. I feel pretty confident that I can eradicate this energy, or this demon, if you will. And if I can do that, I will exorcise it, perform an exorcism, and I will get rid of it. Because even though it's in my property, it's also still inside of me. It still lives within me. So I've got to consecrate myself and purify myself, which means that I've got to take a bath in holy water, holy salt water. And many of you will know, if you read my blogs, that I had to do the very same ritual for 7 days when I did my wind ceremony last year in September time, I believe it was. And I hate the salt water because of the way it makes you feel when you step out of the bath. It burns your skin, at least it burns mine. But with this particular one, I have to do it once, and that's fair enough. So I will do it once, and hopefully that'll give me enough credit and enough power to get rid of this particular energy, which has just been plaguing me now for so long. No pun intended, because I really do believe it's from the plague era. And if my I Ching oracle reading was correct, which they usually are, that means I'm dealing with quite the supernatural foe. So let me talk you through some of the tools and items that I've got on my altar top here. So as you can see on the far right, I've got my celestial horn. I typically use these for weather ceremonies outside on my outdoor altar, but these are also very useful for indoor use if you want to call forth the celestial gods, and particularly the stars. As you know, I work with the Northern Dipper, I work with most of the Dipper systems, and I like to call them forth to protect me because they boost your luck naturally. They're very good luck enhancers. The chalice here, as you can see, is steel chalice. There's nothing in it yet, but there'll be holy water in that soon. I've got 2 orgone pyramids over there, one representing the sun, the other the moon, same with the candles, and in the center here I've got the master lamp, otherwise known as the master lantern in Taoism. As soon as I light this lamp, that's when the ritual will begin. It's not lit right now because I'm not doing anything just yet. I'll do it off camera because I want to be able to concentrate on what I have to do. This is going to take all of my energy and all of what I've got, basically, and I don't want to have to be distracted by a tripod and a camera sitting there. Over here you've got my Chinese crown coronet, and I use that as protection because it's got a blue amulet stone inside. You can't really tell on here because it's dark in this room, but that stone brings me closer to the Taoist gods, the Taoist deities who will be watching over me. Most especially, of course, with this feathered fan, which is my trusty fan, Zhuge Liang, Kong Ming, will of course be watching me. And in the center of the master lamp, perhaps the most important part of the entire altar, as you can see right there, the Lammat star, otherwise known as Venus Maize Ripe Seed, the most powerful Mayan system in the entire world, in history. And I use that as it conveys the 4 directions. And of course up here you've got the 4-directional scroll. I'll make a separate video on that because that's a huge topic. So the 4 directions is also there to help me out. This is a very, very potent, powerful altar. Like I said, it's tailor-made to deal with this incident. But if you're going through these kind of issues, and you're going through hauntings and you need some help, you need some advice, if this method works, and I'll be totally honest with you, if this doesn't work, I'll come back and I'll say, look, it hasn't worked, I've got to try something different, I have to try something new. But if this does work, what I may do in the future, I'll make a detailed video, a tutorial if you will, on the step-by-step instructions of what you can do to get rid of any supernatural or paranormal or metaphysical incidents that are going on in your house. If other people out there want my help, I can give you the information. I won't do the rituals for you. I won't do them for you. I only do rituals for myself. I've said that many times. I'm a grey arts practitioner, not white, not black. But if you want the information, I can give you that. I can educate you on that. And I might do a blog detailing everything and the significance of each item and what it means. So if you are going through that, please message me privately on Facebook at Lord Josh Allen, and I'll see what I can do for you on there. And let's not get too attached to the locations and the physicalities of these entities. They very much cling to the person because of their personality, their secrets, their desires, their urges, and their fears. That's why they attach to you. It's not just about, oh, your house is haunted because of the bricks and the mortar. It's very much to do with the psychology of the homeowner or the person living on the land. So this spirit is taking advantage of my mind and it's using me as a tool, and that's going to stop today. So thank you very much for watching. I've got to get on with this right now. I've got to do this before the night is over. I'll talk to you soon. I'll let you know if it's worked. Have a good night.